It's opening day for IndyCar racing in 2022. Sebring International Raceway today hosted a 3-car test, 2 from Meyershank Racing and 1 from Rahal Letterman Lanigan. We've got the times, we've got the speeds, we've got some insight. Let's get into it. So, remember when I said this was sunny Central Florida in the video earlier today? Well, unfortunately, Mother Nature has decided that that is no longer going to be the case. Rain has arrived here on the scene. It's not a very big shower. In fact, just behind you in terms of the camera, I can see some clear skies. But this rain has prevented the last hour of testing today. Though, of course, you know, a 3-car test, you're not really going to have a massive understanding of really where everybody is in terms of pace. And certainly, you know, and it's unfortunate too, because to me, testing bans are stupid in racing just across the board. I think any rule that keeps race cars off of the racetrack and money being poured into simulators is stupid. IndyCar's got a very limited testing schedule this year, and we're really not going to have a great gauge of where everybody is until Valentine's Day, which there's going to be a 20-car test here at Sebring. Don't worry, we'll be there to cover it. And then there's going to be another 5-car test the day afterwards, again at Sebring. So we'll have a better idea of where everybody stands then. However, here are the times that were posted today. And you may remember last year when we showed off lap times that we will update these as other cars test. So if, for example, Simon Pagenaud does not return, we'll line his time up with everybody else's and, of course, add caveats for weather conditions. It was a beautiful day today, 85 degrees and sunny for most of it until it started raining. Pagenaud led the session at a 52.329, did 100 laps, easily the most of anyone. And Christian Lundgaard at 69 laps, nice, about a tenth of a second behind Simon Pagenaud. And bringing up the rear was Helio Castroneves at a 52.6, 3/10 off of his Meyershank Racing teammate for 2022. But of course, he only did 66 laps, and I think Castroneves was a bit hampered by the weather. He was one of the last cars kind of out today, and ultimately, you know, he ran a little bit, and then I think everybody saw the weather coming and they pulled him in. Again, it's hard to get a gauge and be able to tell you, oh yeah, someone's quick or someone's not quick. I'm pretty sure, now I may be wrong on this, and I really looked hard for this information because I had thought that Pagenaud had tested with Shank last year, but I feel like that's incorrect. I think there was some sort of a condition in Simon's contract where he really couldn't do anything with Penske. He really couldn't do anything with Shank until the turn of the new year. That's why when they announced that he had been taken to the Shank, there wasn't a whole lot of fanfare. Now he's officially a Meyershank racing driver. And if this wasn't the first test, it's the second test, and certainly the first time that we see Simon Pagenaud in pink in 2022. And I'll tell you what, man, I like that Meyershank is here because I get to talk about them a little bit. To me, Meyershank Racing, especially at the Indianapolis 500. I mean, obviously, like I'm not breaking any new ground here by saying Helio Castroneves is good at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and him running 5. There's a rental car going backwards on the track. I wonder who that is. Do you think that? Quick, guess in the comments which driver that is that's driving backwards on the track in a rental car. But I'm not breaking any news saying that Helio is fast at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and he'll be going for his record-setting 5th Indianapolis 500. But to me, I look at Simon Pagenaud and I go, okay, so Simon's in the fastest car at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and when he was in a car that couldn't qualify very well at Team Penske but obviously raced really well, he got to 3rd. So if he qualifies better and has the same car or better than Helio had last year, he's your winner. I don't know. That's an early prediction, and I think championship-wise too. I think you look at it, and Simon's going to be back with Honda for the first time since he moved to Penske, and you look at him with Schmidt and a lot less experience when he was at Schmidt. He was one of the quicker drivers. Again, it was one of those things where he got hired at Penske based on the work that he did at Schmidt, and now that he's back in a Honda, I'm very interested. I think this is going to be a career resurgence of Simon Pagenaud. I know a lot of people have been down on Simon Pagenaud. I think he's going to be quick. And today's test, though, again, it was against his teammate and one other driver who is a rookie. I think he's going to be quick this year. Christian Lundgaard. Who the hell is Christian Lundgaard? I asked when he qualified so well at the Indianapolis GP or the Brickyard GP, whatever the hell we want to call that stupid second race at IMS. I think Lingard is going to be really good. He was quick here, and obviously a street circuit you cannot test on. So when you want to test for a street circuit, you go to Sebring. And obviously, I think one of the bigger transition points for a driver from Europe is to run a bumpy American-style street circuit, because in Europe, when they go to a new street circuit, generally speaking, they repave the thing, they make it billiard table smooth, just like all the other Formula One tracks. When they come over here, it's a totally different experience. I remember asking Marcus Ericsson about that last year, but you also remember that Marcus Ericsson managed to win 2 races on the street courses last year. So clearly these F1 guys, or these F2 guys in Lundgaard's case, can pick this sort of thing up. It'll be interesting to see what the bigger challenge is for a lot of these F2 guys. Is it going to be the tight and bumpy street circuits, or is it going to be the high-speed ovals? You see sometimes flippy-floppity on that. You think about Nigel Mansell, who in a lot of ways was better on the ovals than he was on the road courses when he came over from Europe. So it's always interesting to see that. Helio Castroneves. I think there's already question marks about how long his future is going to be at Meyer-Shank Racing as a full-time driver. I think he's motivated. I think, you think about the late, great Al Unser Sr., and I think Al Sr. would have been competitive long into his retirement. I think if he'd had the right opportunities, I think he would have been quick, just as quick as anybody. And I kind of look at that the same way with Helio. I think Helio really is just as quick as anybody in the field. I think a lot of people have forgotten that because he got overshadowed by a lot of folks at Penske. But think about this. Last race this season, Long Beach, a track that Helio hadn't been to in, 3 years, was in the Fast Six. You think about the Indianapolis 500, which he had run every other year, and he goes out and wins the thing. So if you think about him coming back with a full testing program, a full-time pit crew, I don't know. I think Helio is going to surprise some people as well. A lot of positivity. I'm going to keep it going because we didn't just have the test today in IndyCar news. We also had some start times announced for TV broadcast. And the name of the game is noon. 7 races start between the hours of noon and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And in addition to that, 3 of the West Coast races start at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is, of course, 1 p.m. Western Time. There's also some interesting points. There are no night races scheduled for next year. The latest start time is 6 p.m., which is the USA Network Gateway race. And Nashville actually moves up in start time, although ironically it's a 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start. It started at 5:30 last year. I guess they learned their lesson from the red flag riddled race of 2021, and we will have more time to get that race in. So, before I send it off to some pure sound from the test, I want to give another shout out. I don't do this very often, to my Patreon and my Patreon supporters. If you jump in on Patreon, you are going to join a part of the, I guess I called them channel sponsors group. And what the channel sponsors group is that for $10 a month, I've already think I've calculated it that I'm going to have over one of these trips per month where I go out and I actually film the racetrack, get driver interviews, all that sort of stuff, actual race coverage. And at the end of each of the videos where I'm at the track, I'm going to do a cool kind of end title sequence where you, if you support me over on Patreon, will see your name. Now, certainly you don't have to support me on Patreon, believe it or not. Just the fact that you guys watch the videos, comment, subscribe, all those things really, really do help, and they get me here. So again, thanks to all of you, and especially thanks to the Patreon supporters. So we're going to roll credits, and then we are going to show off some, I guess we'll call them Lanky David videos, even though certainly I'm not quite on Lanky Turtle's level. Unfortunately, I didn't see him today. Sometimes I see him around when I go to Sebring. Shout out to Lanky Turtle. We'll see you in the next video.